Okay, so, you're probably aware of that one Higglytown Heroes episode where Fran had a nightmare in which Higglytown blew up and turned into a zombie and the Higgly kids were next, but there was an even worse episode that I encountered. Note, this is inspired by Wonder Pets, The Final Hours and Yo Gabba Gabba, Meteor. I was just watching a Disney Channel original movie on demand when I heard a knock on the door. When I opened it, it was an envelope. When I opened the envelope, it was a Higglytown Heroes DVD. The DVD cover had the Higgly kids on a background of Higglytown with text above them saying Higglytown Heroes, the best heroes in Higglytown. Volume 1, release date, early 2008. Well, at least it's on date this time, I thought. The DVD disc was low budget. It was just a blank DVD disc with the Sharpie handwriting, Higglytown Heroes on the top, and The Best Heroes Volume 1 on the bottom. I decided to finish watching the movie, and then after that I put the disc inside the DVD player. Another bad mistake I've done. The FBI warnings came up, and they were normal. The Walt Disney Home Entertainment logo then came up, but it got really creepy. The background was red, the text and arch were burned, the arch was on fire, and when the orchestral note hit, which sounded demonic, a crowd screaming can be heard in the background. What? This is worse than Last Encounter, I thought. Then it showed some previews which again, like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, JoJo's Circus, Stanley, Handy Manny, Special Agent Asob and Jungle Junction. After that, it went to the main menu. The DVD menu had the Higgly kids in Higglytown with each button on top of them. The buttons were: Play All on top of Ruby, Episode Selection on top of Wayne, Bonus Features on top of Twinkle, Set Up on top of Kip, Sneak Peeks on top of Fran. I chose Play All to watch all of the episodes. There were multiple episodes playing and all of them were from Season 1. It started with a poetry and ended with a really hot day. There was an extra episode, but it was really unlike the others. It might be worse than the last one. Before that, there was a warning screen taking place in the title card. Warning: the following episode was created by Ezzy Goodman and written by Zoe Gravestone, who teamed up to make this episode in promotion for Final Destination 3. It contains violence, screaming, swearing, and more. Viewer discretion is advised. Not this again. I face-bombed. The intro then played, but when the earth egg opened up, the sky was orange, and the singing became demonic. But no one in Higglytown noticed though. Then came the show's logo, but the sign's letters were black and around it was red, the purple outlines were brown and the lights were broken. After that creepy intro, the episode began with the title card, but it wasn't right. The title card read out, "The End of Higglytown," but the person who read it did not sound like any of the Higgly kids. Rather, he sounded like a 16-year-old male. Also, the playful music was replaced by the Paramount Closet Killer theme, extended version. The title card's egg shook, but there were sounds of explosions. Then it opened up to the Higgly Clubhouse at morning. Guys, guess what? Twinkle asked. It cut to an excited Twinkle. The US Sockers from Jim Davis are coming to our house. The Higgly kids were excited. They've never met the US Sockers before. Fran asked, "Who are the US Sockers?" Wayne was about to say something when there was a knock on the door. "I'll get it," Ubi told them, as he hopped to the door. He opened the door to see the US Sockers. "Well, they're here," he called. "Hi," Orson Pig greeted. "Hello," Ubi greeted back. "So, are you ready for this?" Kip asked. "Yeah," the US Sockers exclaimed. "Good. Just sit at the table and if there's not enough chairs, grab some extras," Ubi informed. As Wayne checked the fridge, he was surprised. All there was in the fridge was bacon. Guys?" Wayne asked. "There's only bacon in the fridge." Orson Pig was not happy, because he knew that pigs were needed for bacon, and he was a pig. So, if he ate that, that would be cannibalism. "But I can't have bacon," he exclaimed. "I'm a pig." "Oh no," Wade Duck gasped. "Where are we going to find food that we can actually eat from?" "Guys, calm down. I know somewhere," Twinkle thought. It then faded to the Higgly kids and the US Sockers arriving at Walmart. "Wait, huh? I don't remember seeing a Walmart Supercenter in Higglytown," I thought. "Here we are," Walmart. Twinkle told them. I have never been to that place before. Roy gasped. I have heard that this place is totally worth it. Twinkle gasped too. Well, let's head in. The Higgly kids and the US Sockers were excited to see what Walmart looked like, and it was. They were all amazed at how good woman looked like. Wow, 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 Booker gasped, making a wow wow wubsy reference. Well, let's head to the grocery. When they arrived at the grocery, it was cold. Let's split up and quickly get what we need, Rory reminded. It then showed the 30-second montage of the gang getting the food later. Fran was about to say something. Alright, now where do we? But before she could finish, the ease alarm played in the speakers. What is going on? Wayne asked. Then an announcer spoke which sounded like Rob the Robot. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. All normal broadcasting, radio broadcasting, and even more has been discontinued during this alert. There is an asteroid that is named Anti-Higgly Meteor that is going to hit the planet, and it'll cause severe damage to vehicles, buildings, and even more. Seek shelter immediately. If there's no shelter available, get to the public shelter. If you don't have a vehicle, then get to a bus stop, or a taxi cab stand, or a tricycle or motorcycle and ask to get to the public shelter. If you're not able to find one of the aforementioned things, then run to the public shelter as quick as possible. Do not panic. Remain calm. Panicking will make this disaster worse. So, stay tuned for more information about this situation, and good luck seeking shelter. Orson was about to scream, but luckily, Twinkle covered her mouth and asked, did you listen? Panicking will only make it worse. Okay, but we need to head to the checkout, Orson thought. They then headed to the checkout, and they headed out of the Walmart. When they were out of Walmart, they saw that the sky was turning red, and everyone was rushing to the shelter. Fran called a taxi, and they went in, without a driver. Why is there no driver? Fran asked. No time to ask, Kip berated. Get in. Move, move, move. They all nodded as they got in. Soon afterwards, it cut to Garfield, John, and Odie watching TV. All of a sudden, their expressions changed from happy to shocked, as the ease alarm played. Then it showed the front view of the TV. Oh no, Garfield panicked. This can't be. We're doomed. Garfield started to scream, but he sounded like he was voiced by Frank Welker and not Lorenzo Music, likely due to the death of Lorenzo Music in 2001. Garfield, panicking will only make this worse. Odie responded, which sounded like Quincy from Little Einsteins. Me, Garfield, and John were surprised. Odie. John gasped. Why you can talk? Garfield finished. That's what I was going to say. I exclaimed. Well, I can. I just didn't prefer to. Odie thought. Whatever the case, let's race to the car and look for shelter. John exclaimed. They all raced to the car and went for a ride to find shelter. Meanwhile in the taxi, Ubi checked his phone and he was surprised. The world will end in 5 minutes, he warned. It then cut to a close-up of the phone. The dun 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 SFX played in the background. Hell no, Roy screamed, not with the swearing again. I muttered. It's okay guys, I found shelter, Booker informed. Then let's head for it, Fran exclaimed. Hang on tight people, Booker exclaimed. He put it on full power. Miraculously, the car landed in the shelter without crashing. No way bro just did that, Orson thought. When they arrived at the parking lot, everyone got off. The next thing they saw was John's car crashing into the parking lot. Stupid car, John berated. Well, what do you know? Booker asked as Garfield, John and Odie climbed out of the car. It's those guys again. The ones that were trying to take over my theme song, Garfield explained. No time for fighting. The world will end soon, Fran berated. It then cut to a plane that had arrived at the shelter. People were screaming as they were getting into the shelter. It then cut to many film Roman and Playhouse Disney characters, as well as mascots for logos, arriving at the shelter. Like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse gang, the generics from Bobby's World, the Little Einsteins, Ek the Cat, Jojo and Goliath, the Wild Brain Eye, the Happy Nest, and the Playhouse Disney Sun and Bird. Soon afterwards, it cut to everyone at the shelter. We're glad you've arrived. Yoon relieved. Say, who are these people? Booker asked. Then they all greeted themselves. After greeting themselves, The U.S. Sockers and the Higgly Kids introduced themselves. Just then, the scene cut to the meteor soaring for 15 seconds, then it cut to the gang in the shelter. "Ooby, any updates?" Wayne asked. "Let me check for 1 second," Ooby informed. He took a look at a notification which read critical alert. "The world is gonna end in 1 minute, get to the public shelter fast." "Oh no," Ooby gasped. "I think the world will end in 1 minute." "1 minute?" June gasped. "Holy Grail." Mickey and Minnie panicked. "We're gonna go boom." The Playhouse Disney Son and Bird panicked as well. "None of us wanna die," Kelly screamed. "I don't want to die too," Jojo agreed. "Hurry, everyone, get into the shelter now." Then after everyone got in, Jojo and Goliath got in the bunker. Then as the meteor was about to hit the ground, a countdown began. But with every number the scene changed. 10. The meteor was soaring in the sky. 9. The U.S. Sockers hugging each other. 8. The time on Ooby's phone read 5:59 p.m. 7. Well, it's the end. Let's all say our goodbyes. The wild brain I sobbed. In the voice of Arthur Reed. 6. We're gonna explode and become non-existent. The Happiness logo panicked. In the voice of Buster Baxter from Arthur. 5. The Playhouse Disney Son and Bird screamed in horror. 4. The Higgly Kids braced for impact. 3. Watch your heads, Bobby alerted. 2. It's going to blow, the little Einstein screamed. 1. The Higgly Clubhouse where the Higgly Kids live in. 0. The meteor hit the ground causing an explosion. The scene then cut to parts of the Earth exploding as an orchestral version of the Here in Higglytown by They Might Be Giants was playing in the background, but it was played in a key of F and in a minor key. It then transitioned to the bunker which was blasting off in the explosion. "What is happening?" Bobby screamed. "Don't you know, it's the end of the world," Martha screamed. "Ooh-oh-ooh," Ike yelled. "Brace yourselves," Garfield panicked. "We're going down," Quincy yelled. Everyone in the bunker was screaming, which all sounded like the characters of their own, plus the BFDI, and little Einstein's scream. It then faded to black. It stayed black for 30 seconds. "Oh God," I muttered. "The meteor must have killed them." However, I was wrong as it faded to reveal everyone in the bunker, and everyone was scared. "Ugh. What happened?" the wild brain I moaned. "No way," the Playhouse Disney Bird gasped. "It's over," the Sun whimpered in the voice of Billy from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy Grim Evil. Everyone got out of the bunker. Higglytown was demolished and the Higgly Kids hopped. "Hey, where are you guys going?" the Happiness called out. Everyone else then followed the Higgly Kids. "Whoa, that meteor destroyed a lot," Wayne gasped. "It even destroyed the tree and the hills of our logo," the Playhouse Disney Bird pointed out, which she sounded like Mandy from Grim Evil and the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It then cut to the Higgly Clubhouse on fire with firefighters putting it out and with the Higgly Kids there. "What happened to the Higgly Clubhouse?" Wayne gasped. "It caught on fire due to the meteor's force," the firefighter from Up a Tree explained. The Higgly Kids' faces then turned sad. "Oh no, how could this be?" Kip gasped. "I can't believe it. We lived at the Higgly Clubhouse for a very long time." Twinkle sobbed. "The poor Higgly Clubhouse is completely destroyed." Fran whimpered. "Now we have nowhere else to live," Wayne said. "WHY? Question mark. Ooby cried. Everyone got where the Higgly Kids were. "Okay, why did you guys go with a broken bar?" Garfield asked. Before finishing his sentence. "What happened here?" Garfield wondered. "It looks like the Higgly Clubhouse is on fire." The wild brain I panicked. "Now where will the Higgly Kids live?" The Happiness cried. "It's all gone now." The Playhouse Disney Son sobbed. "The poor Higgly Clubhouse is in ruins." Higgly Clubhouse, the Playhouse Disney Bird said. "We will miss you tremendously." "So long, Higgly Clubhouse." Where's Rocket?" Leo asked. "I don't know," Kip answered. "He wasn't in the shelter." "You don't think he got destroyed by the meteor, right?" Wayne questioned. Everyone then turned around, saw Rocket, and gasped. Rocket was indeed destroyed by the meteor. In fact, he got killed by the meteor as he didn't talk. "Rocket, no," the little Einsteins gasped in horror. It was right before everyone started crying, but their cries sounded realistic. "Goodbye forever, Rocket and the Higgly Clubhouse." Everyone sobbed. Everyone then immediately started breaking down into tears as the title cards closed. The credits then rolled, but they were different. The backgrounds were in shades of red and orange. Everything in the credits was destroyed because of the meteor, and the 30-second instrumental version of Here in Higglytown by They Might Be Giants was replaced by the chorus of My Immortal by Evanescence. Okay, what just happened? I gasped. The Wild Brain, Happy Nest, Playhouse is the original, and Buena Vista International Television logos appeared, but oh boy, they were screwed up to the maximum. The Wild Brain eye logo came up, but the eye is scared to death, and when the eye spun, there was an explosion, kinda like Higglytown Heroes, the evil Higgly kids, causing the Wild Brain text to be crimson, the background to be black and the text on fire. The Happiness logo came up, but the background was red with a vignette, and the nest was burned to ashes and it screamed to death. The Sonic.exe Game Over music is heard. The Playhouse is the original logo came up, but there were different problems in this one. Compared to the opening, the sky was brown, the sun and bird were covering their ears, and the Canadaese alarm was heard over the music, which sounded demonic. Finally, the Buena Vista International Television logo appeared, but the colors were inverted, and the castle was on fire. The Nodally Keaton jingle plays over. It cut to black for 5 seconds, before static filled the screen, and then a jump scare scared me. It was an edited picture of Bobby Generic getting angry and was about to turn into the Incredible Bulk after telling his mom he wants to go on the roller coaster now instead of later from the Bobby's World episode. I want my mommy. But now he has bloodshot eyes and was drooling crying blood. The Howie scream, Godzilla roar, Sonic.exe scream, BFDI scream, Suicide Mouse scream, Ghost Rider scream, and BFDI screams were heard in the background. After the jump scare, it cut to an aqua background with the Higgly kids at the bottom and on the top text said, "Thanks for meeting the Higglytown heroes." Accompanied that was "We're going to the story box from Pinky Dinky Doo." This went on for 30 seconds before cutting to black for 1 second and then taking me back to the menu. I was filled with shock and terror. What had they done to this show? I exclaimed. I took some screenshots of the episode, as well as the logos. Then I recorded the episode and posted it to the Internet Archive before I showed it to Mommy. She believed me and we donated it to Goodwill. I then emailed Disney Jr. about what happened. I thought last episode was bad, but this Wild Brain took their imagination too far. There's no way I'll look at Higglytown Heroes the same way after seeing this abomination. I'm going to have nightmares because of the gosh darn twisted episode Goodman